Now, the rest of the story.
Blue sky and sunny, a perfect August day. I figured you guys would want to see this. No, maybe not. I got, where are we at here? I have a new one out there. I think that's him. This is what the cows are doing. And I got to show you because we're going to be losing a bunch of them. I mean, if they're red, they're staying up here. So like my one red bull calf is staying. But if it's a red cow, it's staying. This one, she's one of my dad's, got one of my dad's calves on her. The calves are still my parents', but we did a barter system of, I swapped out their red cows with the black cows of mine. So my herd is going to be a lot more red next year, with one exception of, well, her right here. Ryan was asking me, no, Brittany was asking me why I was keeping this one. The reason I'm keeping this one is because I am the sentimental type, and she is, back when I was buying feeder heifers, this was the one in the last group of heifers that I had that year that she was the baby, which you got to be careful because she's the one that was chasing mom here a week ago. Not a week ago, but with her new calf that she had. But she's the one that I could walk up and pet. So sentimental. She is actually the original two. This one and the red one over there were the first two beef cows that I had, and then everybody else has been an add-on. So I do have a couple calves out of her. Actually, that one, to be honest, I might make a knee-jerk decision and decide to keep her up here also. But both the bulls are going to be going. The red belted, she's going down. And any of the calves that are attached to any of these cows currently that need to stay with their moms will be going down to my place. It's going to drop the amount of calves I'm going to have up here, the amount of cows I'm going to have up here, and it's going to ultimately, the amount of mouths that I have to feed will be dropped out. So I am one of those individuals that I'm going to have cows on feed pretty much year round. I'm always going to have bales out for them. But being able to move out XYZ number of cows and say those are dad's, those are mom and dad's, they're out. My number one goal is to have a red herd, and this is pretty much about the steepest, most significant push I can do towards that, by claiming all of the red cows my parents, mix them in with the red cows that I have. And I'm going to have a couple standouts. I mean, this one and on her calf, I mean, that one, black one right there is out of her. She was a gorgeous heifer. She threw a gorgeous heifer. They're great cows. I'm probably just going to keep them just because I can. But then Rocky, and I'm going to have another red bull next year. So I'll have two bulls working. Hopefully the breeding dates will be a lot tighter, having two bulls working on fewer cows. And then my first real push was red herd. Well, going into next year, that's exactly what we're going to be looking at. My second significant push is either keeping back all of my potential red heifers going forward, and even maybe supplementing that with buying a few red heifers if I can make that work. And then really push for 30 to 50 head of cows. If I got to keep them up here, for the most part, I can and I will. I'll be putting a hot wire around this pasture so the cows don't push in the pasture too hard. And then 2 or 3 more hay feeders. I got the valley hay. I can pull some of that up, feed that to these guys year round, do the minerals, keep the minerals in front of them, and more or less just try to keep them as shined up as I possibly can. Going that route, I may actually try to make a few more bales of fodder What? And by going that route, I can also throw them a little bit of corn fodder throughout the summer, which they'll sift through, dig the leaves out, and it keeps them shined up also. So that's kind of where I'm at with the beef cow herd. I have pastures down at my place that I can move some of them down there, or even around the barn down at my place, and keep supplementing them down there too, just splitting them up and treating them the same. But the cow herd aspect of my life is, I'm planning on getting a pretty stiff kick in the rear, and it's gonna have to start performing and not just existing. I mean, any farmer will tell you that. But the cows, generally, when I first got them, you know, it was to supplement any of the poorer quality hay that I got. And I got 3 rows of hay along the guardrail there that I'm not short of feed by any means, but still planning on selling hay, but maybe not as much, maybe pulling a quarter or a third of the hay that I'm producing and feed it to these guys, and then selling feeders. My real intentions are, if I can get them calving in the 45 days that I have the bulls in with them, get them to calve in March, leave them on the cow all summer, pull them off in September, grain the calves for 60 days, and then sell the calves in November. That is the program that I want to get to. And I think I can get there. It's just, I'm going to ramp up the management on these guys just a bit more. So I want to, my newest calf, I got to show Myrna here. Here's my newest little calf. It's a bull. The reason with it being a bull and I'm not too excited about it is because if it was a heifer, it wouldn't really bother me, because with a heifer I'll keep her, I'll put her in with the heifers, and I'll just rotate her around until she does get to the breeding age where I can dump her in with the bull, and she'll be synchronized up. A bull like that in early August, he's kind of off compared to everybody else as to when they're going to be ready to be gone. So I mean, I could really consider just fattening them up ourselves and maybe putting them in the freezer, which we got enough mouths to feed around here that we go through enough meat, enough burger, beef. I could probably get away with that, but it's just money out of my pocket. And yes, my little Charolais mix here, even though she's got some stubby horns, I'm keeping her. She's staying up here, and she hasn't had a calf yet, which I was kind of wondering if she would have gotten bred for how old she was last year, but I'm going to give her another chance. I mean, I like her frame, I like her temperament. She is the first one to the bale when we're coming through the gate with a bale. So when I'm looking at cows, temperament is huge. Temperament is number one, then body frame, conditioning plays into it too. We're gonna start having more cattle around, more manure to haul, which is gonna benefit the rest of the farm. But I am a low input cattle guy. I mean, I'm not out to short my cows or anything in that regard, but as far as being somebody that's gonna go through and I'm gonna constantly throw, you know, a couple buckets of grain to them every day just to keep them tame, or not, they don't need it. I walk out through them every day, and this is the result. I don't have a bunch of skittish cows that are all cramming up in the corner of the lot trying to get away from me. I got nothing against the black cows at all. It is entirely a preference, and I talked to my buddy Ryan about it the other day because he is very much a cattle guy, and he says the same thing. He likes the black cows. I like the red cows, and for me to actually get truly excited, it just comes right down to it. For me to truly get excited about wanting to raise cows, the bred cows, and take care of them, and get excited about wanting to come out and handle them and take care of them, I want a red herd. I just want a red herd. I think they're prettier. That's not a great management decision, but I think they're prettier to me. Seeing a pasture full of red cows appeals to me. So yeah, we got to keep some red bulls around, but the plus side is a lot of guys actually do use red bulls for their black cow herd. So if I have a bunch of red bulls around here, I need it to produce my red calves, but we can also use those same bulls in with Dad's and Ryan's herds. So there's pluses to everything. Plus I am gonna have a couple black cows. Granted, I could just put them in with Dad and Mom's herd and then just keep them tagged as mine, but yeah, things are gradually changing. They are getting fed later today. They got a bunch of hay in that bale ring yet. They got to clean it up because I'm not letting that stuff go to waste. So, and then in a couple days we are hauling the bulls out. They're going down to my place. A bunch of those black cows and their calves are going down with them. That'll definitely cut down on the amount of cows I got up here. This pile of manure, there's not a lot there, but it's pretty well composted out. The plan is I got the cows locked off this pasture. I got 2 wires I got to fix. I'm going to go cut all the trees and stuff between the fence and the field. But then I want to go through with this stuff and spread it out across this pasture. Get a little bit of a fertilizer boost to it. Because the cows are honestly off of it for a couple weeks. I got to let it grow up and get ahead of them. Otherwise, they'll have it down to dirt. I don't mind keeping cattle on Crete. I mean, as long as they got food and water, minerals, you're good. So until next time, hope you enjoyed it, Myrna. I'll talk to you later.